Welcome to Elevated Women, the podcast where energetics meets strategy and wealth becomes who you are. I'm your host, Myra, subconscious reprogramming master, energetics mentor, multi-seven-figure coach, and Brain's 500 global honoree for my work in conscious business leadership. This space is your portal, a frequency upgrade for the woman who's done shrinking and ready to claim everything she came for. Let's melt the old patterns, rewire your money story, and build a wildly aligned business from your highest self. This is your next evolution. Let's begin. Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to Elevated Woman. I want you to take a deep breath with me before we begin today, because this one is special to me. It's a reflection over 25 years of business and what it means to be an elevated woman. I often ask my guests that come on this podcast what it means to them to be an elevated woman. And I ask my clients what it means to be an elevated woman. And for every woman, it's different. And it's beautiful. And it's theirs, their way of seeing and living, being an elevated woman. But today's episode is about what it means to me and how I created this brand. It's not a lesson or a how-to. It's really a genuine conversation, one woman to another, about what it really means to live, lead, and create the elevated woman way. No apologies, no performance, just power. You know, I've lived a few different versions of myself. For more than 25 years, I've built businesses in what most people would call the real world. Boardrooms, deadlines, growth targets. I was the woman who could walk into that boardroom or any boardroom and make things happen. Sharp, strategic, always in control. 5 companies, 7 figures each. A group of companies to 8 figures. A group of businesses that ran like clockwork because I ran them that way. I was proud of it, and I should have been. I had mastered masculine precision, structure, discipline, logic, doing whatever it took. I was the one people came to when something needed fixing, and for a long time that worked beautifully. Until it didn't. Because somewhere in the middle of all of that success, something started to feel off. The more I achieved, the less I felt. I could move mountains, but I couldn't feel myself anymore. Everything became about performance, about being the strong one, the capable one, the woman who could hold it all. And even when I transitioned into my coaching business, a business that was supposed to be more feminine, more soul-led, I carried that same energy with me, the same drive, the same pressure, the same constant forward motion. I built another successful company, my business coaching company. And yet, 5 years in, that same whisper returned. You've built it beautifully, but it doesn't feel like freedom. And it didn't. It really didn't feel like freedom. That was a hard truth to face. And I had created everything I thought I wanted, the income, the clients, the recognition. But I didn't love it. I was tired of the way I was doing it. Tired of the constant push. Tired of trying to fit a woman's body and rhythm into a business model designed by men. And I know so many of you are feeling exactly the same way, especially if your knowledge and your background comes from the corporate world. I remember waking up one morning and just knowing this version of my business, the one built from masculine energy, it had to go. Not because it wasn't working, but because it was working against me. So I burnt it down, not from chaos, but from clarity. From the knowing that I couldn't build another empire that cost me myself, my soul. That was the moment everything changed for me. That's when I began creating from embodiment, not from performance, from energy, not effort, from frequency, not from force. And the moment I made that shift, my world opened. I started listening to my body, to my intuition. I started falling in love with my business again. And I listened to the quiet part of me that always knew when something was off, but I'd been too busy to hear it. And I know that you feel this too. We all get so busy and so drawn into our businesses, and we just keep going. And then when it's almost too late, we realize this is not what I want. I know that you feel the same way, or that you have felt the same way. And instead of collapsing, my business expanded fast, beautifully, and in ways that felt natural, because I was finally building from alignment and I had freedom again, time, creativity, choice. Work became play. Selling became expression. My business started feeling like me. And then life added another chapter. In 2024, I had a fall that changed absolutely everything. 3 fractures, a plate, 14 screws in my ankle. My body stopped me completely. And while it was painful and frustrating on far more levels than just physical, it was also sacred. And if you want to learn more about that fall, go and listen to episode 1, where I tell you all about my rebirth. Because it gave me what I never gave myself before. Time. This is why my fall was so sacred. Time to be. Time to breathe. Time to integrate everything I'd learned about energy, embodiment, and leadership on an even deeper level. I already knew the power of this work. I've been teaching it for years and applying it in my own business and in my own life for years. But in that silence, I got to feel it again at a much deeper level. And I understood it's not just in my mind, but in my body. The fall didn't start my transformation, it just deepened it. I hated those quiet moments in the beginning. I hated losing my freedom, the ability to wash my hair, the ability to take a shower by myself, the ability to pour myself a glass of water. I hated it. But the transformation that came after was extremely deep. It gave me perspective. It showed me how much freedom this feminine way of building really gives you. And I want you to think about that just for a moment. Building a business from your feminine really gives you freedom. Not just financial freedom, though. That comes. Not just time freedom. That comes too. But freedom of choice, freedom of creation, freedom to live your life in rhythm with your truth. And ladies, I want you to really fully understand this, and I talk about this often. Energy without strategy is nothing, and strategy without energy is nothing. You need to still do the work. You can't go and sit under a tree and just say, oh, well, I've now embodied energy. Now everything is just going to fall in place and happen for me. It's not. They work together, hand in hand. And if they are married to each other, feminine and masculine, energy and strategy, it's a beautiful union that gives you so much freedom. And that's what Elevated Woman really is now for me. It's not a brand. For me, it's become a way of life. It's how I live. It's how I build. It's how I lead. When I create something now, I don't ask what should I build or what should I create next? What does the market want? What does my clients want? Like you hear so often online. Do the market research. Find out what your clients want. Give them that. Then take them deeper into what you want to give them. I don't work that way anymore. I ask what wants to move through me. When I sell, I don't think about pressure or proof. I think about alignment, about service, about an invitation, a sacred invitation to your next level, and a sacred invitation into my world. And when I lead, I don't perform. I just show up as me, fully, freely, unapologetically. That's the heart of it all. No apologies, no performance, just pure power. Because when you stop performing and start embodying, everything shifts. Money flows easier, clients come faster, creativity returns, and what you build finally feels like home. I want to go back to me creating what needs to flow through me, that question that I ask. I told you that I don't go do market research anymore. I don't go find out what my clients want. I create from source. I allow things to flow through me, concepts, ideas. I allow them to flow through me, and then I decide which of those I want to embody and which of those I want to bring to my clients. And when you are starting to create like that, from that space, and no longer from a male dominated space, do market research, find out what your clients want. That is male energy. But when you create this way, asking what needs to flow through me when you need to create or when you want to create, you get something completely different. The energy is different, and your clients feel it. People feel it, and they want to work with you. So yes, it's probably one of the most unpopular ways of building a business, but it works, and it works really, really well. I'm not the only one that's doing it. There are many brilliant women online these days that does it exactly like that. So it does work, and it can work for you too. So that's what my fall gave me. Not a restart, but a deeper anchor into everything I already knew. And some pushes into directions that I was not so open to in the past. It slowed me down long enough to integrate it all. And now, every single thing I create, every program, every post, every conversation carries that frequency. That's the elevated woman way. And once you've lived it, there's no going back. And if you've been listening and something inside you is saying, yes, this is how I want to build, then I want to invite you closer. Inside Quantum Wealth Frequency, we go deep into the energetics and architecture of wealth. We heal your money trauma because we all have it. Every single woman has it. Every woman I've ever worked with has it. I had it. Clearing those patterns that keeps you operating from force and opening you to receive from flow. It's deep subconscious work. And it's also about practical integration, learning to run your business in a way that feels aligned with your feminine power. And inside Limitless Queen, we take that new frequency and anchor it into your leadership, your voice, and your daily life. It's a high-level, intimate mentorship for the woman who's ready to lead from energy, not exhaustion, who's ready to have it all and have it feel really good. You don't need to do more. You just need to do it from your truth, from your alignment, no one else's, from power that feels like peace, your power, no one else's. Thank you for being here, for letting me share this with you. And if this episode spoke to your soul, share it with another woman who's ready to remember who she really is. And DM me. I always love hearing what lands for you. Until next time, stay elevated. Thank you for tuning into Elevated Woman. If today's episode activated something in you, share it, tag me, or come say hi in the DMs. And if you're ready to go deeper, head to myraswankotze.com to grab your free gift or explore the offers aligned with your next level. Until next time, own your power, claim your wealth, and rise as the elevated woman you came here to be.